From time to time, I do updates on how current events can be interpreted through the lens of Bible prophecy. I have already done a video on why I believe Great Britain is Tarshish, but recently I have been struck by how Britain itself is taking on the characteristics of Tarshish. The characteristics of Tarshish in the Bible are as follows: the source of tin, silver, iron and lead, a Japhetic nation, a merchant nation, a maritime nation, a nation with colonies. The young lions of Tarshish of Ezekiel 38 are the colonies of Tarshish. Britain's emblem has always been a lion, and the young lions are her colonies, which have now grown up and become independent nations. The Tarshish nations are the Commonwealth nations and the USA. You can see more on this in the video Great Britain is Tarshish. These are basically the free democracies of the world. According to Ezekiel, they will object to Gog-Magog. The Gog-Magog attempted invasion of Israel, but not do anything about it. Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 13. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions of thereof, shall say unto thee, Art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? Sheba and Dedan approximate to Saudi Arabia and the Gulf Arab states. It is interesting to observe how Britain has started to increase its naval presence in the Gulf and its ties with the Gulf states. The Tarshish nations and the sunny Gulf Arab states will ally themselves with Israel up until the final period of the Great Tribulation. So how is all this playing out in current events? I will try to go through this point by point. Firstly, the traditional areas that supplied tin, silver, iron and lead were Devon and Cornwall. Cornwall is now at the beginning of a resurgence of its mining heritage. The last working mine in Cornwall was South Crofty, which closed in 1998 after 406 years of operation. Now it is going to reopen. There is now a new wave of mining activity across southwest England, as tin, copper, tungsten and lithium are in high demand. Once again, Tarshish, Britain, will be known for its precious metals. The people of Britain are descended from Japheth, the son of Noah. However, our links with Israel, a nation descended from Shem, will increase as the world divides between supporters and opposers of Israel. The above passage in Ezekiel 38 indicates that the Tarshish nations will in the future be aligned with Israel and oppose the attempted invasion. Today we can see the relations between the two nations developing. On the 21st of March 2023, a roadmap for UK-Israel bilateral relations was signed by the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the UK Foreign Office. It opened with the following paragraph. The bilateral relationship has never been stronger. Our two countries complement each other's strengths. As freedom-loving, innovative and thriving democracies, Israel and the UK are proud of our deep and historic partnership. We are firm friends and natural allies. We can expect this relationship to grow as this strategic partnership benefits both nations. Thirdly, we can see the development of Britain as a merchant nation. Since Brexit, the UK has been signing free trade agreements with nations all over the world. As an independent trading nation, the UK now has over 70 trade agreements in place. Fourthly, as a maritime nation, Britain is again expanding its navy. After the war, the Royal Navy faced 70 years of decline, reflecting the spiritual decline of the nation. This decline was only reversed with the introduction of two new aircraft carriers, HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales. Fitting out of the first of these was completed in 2015. This 70-year period of decline is in line with Scripture. Isaiah chapter 23 verses 14 to 15. Howl, you ships of Tarshish, for your strength is laid waste, and it shall come to pass in that day that Tyre shall be forgotten 70 years, according to the days of one king. After the end of 70 years shall Tyre sing as an harlot. Prophetically in the Bible, Tyre became Tarshish, which is Britain. You can see more about this on the website page, Great Britain is Tarshish. Tyre is portrayed as a harlot, and we see in Isaiah chapter 23 verse 17 that after 70 years she returns to her old trade. However, like the harlots who met Jesus in the New Testament, she will return to the Lord, and her wares shall be given to the King of Kings. This chart just illustrates how the Royal Navy has declined since the war. At its height there was 2,340 total surface craft and submarines in the Royal Navy. This declined year on year, and by 2015 there were only 70 craft. This decline has now started to reverse, and the number of surface craft and submarines is beginning to increase again. Isaiah chapter 23 verse 17 to 18. And it shall come to pass after the end of 70 years that the Lord will visit Tyre, and she shall turn to her hire, and shall commit fornication with all the kingdoms of the world upon the face of the earth. And her merchandise and her hire shall be holiness to the Lord. This shall not be treasured nor laid up, for her merchandise shall be for them that dwell before the Lord, to eat sufficiently and for durable clothing. You can expect to see Great Britain returning to her old money-loving ways, and also a revival in her navy. However, eventually the nation and all its wealth will be submitted to God. The fifth characteristic of Tarshish, or Britain, is that it is a nation with colonies. Britain's colonies have now become independent states in their own right, but the links between the UK, the USA, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and other Commonwealth nations remain strong. For example, the Five Eyes organisation brings the UK, the United States, Canada, Australia and New Zealand into the world's most complete and comprehensive intelligence alliance. Also, more recently, we have AUKUS, the Trilateral Security Pact between Australia, the United Kingdom and the United States, announced on the 15th of September 2021 for the Indo-Pacific region. The Commonwealth still exists as a voluntary association of 56 independent and equal countries. One final observation I want to make in this update is the expansion of British ties with the Gulf Arab states and Saudi Arabia, Sheba and Dedan of Ezekiel 38. The UK government states, "We develop and maintain a long-standing relationship between the UK and Saudi Arabia. We build on the bilateral relationship between our two governments and peoples, especially in the areas of trade and investment, education, culture, energy and climate security and defence." We can see a similar development of relations with other Gulf states. Business and Trade Secretary Kemi Badenoch recently visited the Middle East to advance the UK's ambitions for a modern, comprehensive trade deal with the Gulf states. Also, the Royal Navy has a long-standing presence in the Gulf known as Operation Kipion. This is an air and maritime presence by the United Kingdom in the Persian Gulf and Indian Ocean to promote enduring peace and stability in the region and ensure the safe flow of oil and trade. All these 6 characteristics of Tarshish that I've highlighted will continue to develop until the time of the Gog and Magog war. We don't know when that will be, but in my opinion it will not happen just yet, as there are too many prophecies yet to be fulfilled. Thank you for listening to this update. If you've enjoyed this video, you can find more information at prophecy-workshop.com.